Rivers politics. Siminalayi Fubara's journey to the governorship of Rivers State is inseparable from the political machinery of Nyesom Wike. In 2023, Rivers politics was firmly under Wike's control. After 8 years as governor, Wike had consolidated power across party structures, the legislature, local governments, and key political actors. His word largely determined who rose or fell politically in the state. When the time came to choose a successor, Wike did not want a rival or an independent political heavyweight. He wanted someone trusted, quiet, technocratic, and dependent on the structure he had built. Fubara, then the Accountant General of Rivers State, fit perfectly into that calculation. Fubara did not emerge through popular agitation or a personal political base. He emerged because Wike made him governor. The expectation was clear, even if unwritten: political continuity without political independence. In Nigeria's informal power culture, such arrangements are common. Outgoing governors often expect to remain de facto power brokers, while successors enjoy office but not full authority. At the start, many Rivers politicians, civil servants, and even the public assumed that Fubara would govern under Wike's shadow. But politics is not static, and power once tested is rarely surrendered. After assuming office, Fubara gradually began to assert himself. At first, it was subtle, reshuffling aides, slowing down decisions pushed by Wike's camp, insisting on personal approval for key actions. Over time, it became clearer that Fubara did not intend to be a ceremonial governor. He wanted to exercise the full constitutional powers of his office. This was the point where the relationship broke down. What Fubara saw as independence, Wike saw as rebellion. What Fubara believed was constitutional authority, Wike interpreted as betrayal. The battle quickly shifted from private disagreement to institutional warfare, and the Rivers State House of Assembly became the main arena. Most lawmakers owed their political careers to Wike and remained loyal to him. The legislature therefore became an extension of the Godfather's power against the governor. Cooperation between the executive and legislature collapsed. Budgets were delayed, approvals were withheld, and impeachment threats became routine. Governance was no longer the priority, supremacy was. As the standoff worsened, Rivers State entered a dangerous phase where politics overshadowed administration. Public institutions were weaponized, and the state drifted toward paralysis. The situation was made worse by the fact that Wike had become a minister in the APC-led federal government. Although he remained nominally in the PDP, his access to federal power shifted the balance dramatically. Many Fubara's supporters believed that federal institutions were now tilted against the governor, while Wike's camp felt emboldened by proximity to the center. Several peace efforts were attempted. Meetings were held in Abuja, reportedly chaired or influenced by President Bola Tinubu. Agreements were spoken of, but they were fragile because they did not resolve the fundamental contradiction. Fubara wanted autonomy, Wike wanted control. Peace talks that ignore core interests rarely hold. Each side accused the other of violating agreements, and distrust deepened. By early 2025, Rivers State was effectively ungovernable. The legislature and executive could not work together, budgets could not move, and the legitimacy of institutions was questioned. At this point, President Tinubu stepped in decisively and declared a state of emergency. This was one of the most controversial political decisions in Nigeria's recent history. The suspension of an elected governor, his deputy, and the entire House of Assembly shocked the country. Supporters argued it was necessary to prevent chaos. Critics argued it was unconstitutional overreach and political punishment. During the emergency period, Rivers State was run by a sole administrator. While some stability returned administratively, democracy was suspended in practice. For Fubara, the experience was transformative. He returned from the emergency rule politically weakened within the PDP, but more aware of the realities of power. He had learned a hard lesson. Survival in Nigerian politics often depends not just on legitimacy, but on alignment. It was therefore not surprising when Fubara defected to the APC. Ideology had little to do with it. Strategy had everything to do with it. By joining the ruling party, Fubara aligned himself directly with the center of power. For the APC, this was a major win, a sitting governor in a traditionally PDP state. For Tinubu, it was proof that his intervention had reshaped Rivers politics. For the PDP, it was a devastating blow that confirmed their loss of control in the state. However, Fubara's defection did not dissolve the old power structures overnight. The Rivers State House of Assembly remained largely loyal to Wike. Political loyalty does not automatically shift with party labels, especially in a state where personalities matter more than platforms. This is the context in which the new impeachment move must be understood. The impeachment process initiated again by lawmakers loyal to Wike is not just about alleged misconduct. It is about unfinished business. It is about who ultimately controls Rivers State. For Wike's camp, impeachment is leverage, either to force concessions or to remove a governor they never accepted as independent. For Fubara, it is an existential threat and a test of whether federal alignment truly guarantees protection. This puts President Tinubu and the APC in a very delicate position. Fubara is now an APC governor, but Wike remains a powerful APC-aligned minister with enormous political capital. The president must balance competing interests carefully. Openly supporting impeachment would undermine the APC's claim of protecting its governors and respecting democratic choice. Opposing impeachment too forcefully could alienate Wike and fracture strategic alliances ahead of 2027. The most likely posture of the presidency will be cautious intervention without public confrontation. Tinubu is unlikely to support Fubara's removal outright because losing an APC governor in Rivers would be politically costly. At the same time, he may seek behind-the-scenes negotiations to cool the impeachment process, preserve stability, and avoid another national controversy like the emergency rule. The APC, for its part, will publicly defend constitutional order and its governor while privately managing internal contradictions. Ultimately, the Rivers crisis reveals deeper truths about Nigerian politics. It shows the limits of godfatherism in an era where successors increasingly resist control. It exposes the fragility of institutions when loyalty outweighs law. It highlights how party labels can change, but power structures endure. And it demonstrates that political conflicts in Nigeria are rarely resolved. They are only paused, rebranded, or relocated. Rivers State today stands at another critical juncture. Whether the impeachment succeeds or collapses, the underlying struggle between Fubara and Wike's political machine will continue to shape the state's future. For Tinubu and the APC, Rivers is both an opportunity and a risk. How this moment is handled will send a signal, not just to Rivers politicians, but to governors, godfathers, and power brokers across Nigeria, about who truly holds power when institutions collide with ambition.